Welcome back to No Judge Necessary podcast, where we got the opinions like DC, we're crazy like Gaethje, and we're as high as O'Malley. We're the podcast for fight fans that want to see fists fly and don't want to wait on the judges. I'm your host, Brick, and as always, my cornerman, Matty P. Today, we are joined by a special guest, MMA fighter out of ONE Championship, Troy Worthen. How we doing, Troy?
Doing all right. How about you guys?
Just hanging out, surviving, man. Just surviving.
Yeah, pretty hot out here in Phoenix. Where are we at right now?
I'm in South Florida, Davie, Florida, right outside of Plantation, Fort Lauderdale area.
Oh, okay. So probably not much cooler there either.
At least they got the humidity, though.
Yeah, it's pouring outside right now, but it's pure, like, sunny daylight. So that's a typical Florida day for you.
Sounds about right. So first question, and please take this as a compliment. You're an absolute unit. What are you benching these days?
I actually don't bench press often. It hurts my shoulders. A lot of people don't know this about me. I'm actually a strength coach by trade. I got a degree in sport and exercise science, so I do quite a bit of lifting and stuff like that, but not the generic book lift that I think of.
I got it. I mean, something's definitely working for you, so you got a system over there. I love it. Hey, some good genes. I wish I had a few more of those. Just kind of kicking it off. Wanted to get your perspective of what's it like to be an American fighter fighting in ONE Championship and fighting in Singapore and Malaysia and kind of just generally, dealing with that.
I mean, honestly, the biggest thing is the travel. Trying to switch a time zone from 12 hours, that's a rough one. So yeah, the travel makes it a little rough. Now I understand why it was so hard for Asian fighters to be successful in the UFC. It's just that travel, man. You can't sleep, you can't do anything. You're trying to cut weight. It's no joke, but honestly, the Asian fans are great. They're very accepting. Sometimes they boo you when you walk out, but by the end of the fight, they all cheer you on. So it's not too bad. It's kind of cool to be like, I guess, the minority. I'm like a unicorn for them out there, I'm the muscled up white dude with tattoos and stuff. I look a lot different than most of the fighters out there. So, it doesn't bother me. I think it's actually kind of cool to be the one American in my division.
Yeah, it's probably good for some branding as well. That because you have that unique look to you.
I don't have to get like a pink mohawk or anything for people to remember me. So I'll leave that to like dyeing his hair and stuff, and I'll just
I mean, if you don't need to, why do it? But I was gonna ask. I'm not too familiar with ONE yet. I've been watching this year. I've been really starting to get on it. How many? Like I know with the UFC, they switch from Vegas, they go to places. Are there a certain amount of just arenas that you guys go to, or is it like a bit, is it one kind of thing that you guys do every time? I'm not too familiar on the settings of how you guys move around.
Yeah, well, I mean, in a typical year, we travel quite a bit, all of Southeast Asia. We do shows in Manila, Philippines. We go to Indonesia. We go to Malaysia, Singapore, Tokyo, Japan. We're usually going all over the place, but ever since COVID, it seems like we're pretty much stuck in Singapore, where headquarters is at. It just seems to be easier for them to do. I know. You
like that better?
I like to travel. It's cool for me to have a new experience every time I go fight. The fight is my job, and I love what I do, and I enjoy it. But it's kind of cool to get a vacation out of it and go explore other cultures and stuff during that week as well. So I do miss being able to go to different places. I love Thailand, had a lot of fun in Malaysia, and just being able to go out and explore during fight week. Right now we're stuck in a hotel for 7 days straight, and then you go fight and you're expected to perform at the best. So it's not an easy thing to ask, but I'm just happy that I still get to work, so I can't make any complaints.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Obviously, this would be pre-COVID, but what were your favorite aspects of fight week in Singapore or even in the Malaysia? Because I think you fought in Malaysia as well, right?
Yeah, I fought in Malaysia as well. I cornered some people in Indonesia. Well, when I was living in Singapore for most of the time that I was fighting ONE Championship, so when we fought there, it was like fighting at home. I didn't really need to use the hotel or anything, so it made life really easy for me. You can get across the entire island of Singapore in like an hour, so everything's pretty close.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, not a big place at all, but so yeah, fighting at home in Singapore was awesome. I enjoyed it. It was relaxing for me. Malaysia was cool too, though, because I got to go try and do stuff, go to the cave that everybody goes feeds the monkeys at and stuff, and explore the night markets and stuff. So it keeps your mind off the fight. You get to go explore new things and meet people and experience a new culture. So for me, making those memories is just as important as winning the fights. So I can't wait till we get to start having events all over Southeast Asia again.
Yeah, I can't too. I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome. I just went to Thailand about a year ago. I gotta ask, how you feel about the bidet situation? That's got me by surprise.
The toilets?
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, we're not doing toilet paper, I guess, today.
And when I first moved to Asia, honestly, there was a bunch of things to adjust to. But honestly, bidets are kind of nice. I actually have.
No, I know. By the end, I was like, I got one too.
It almost like it seems like the rest of the world does it, and Americans are the one people that are like, no, that's weird. But I think they're onto something there. It's a little bit better.
It's definitely cleaner. It's definitely cleaner. I don't know why we're not on that yet.
Also wanted to ask, so you said you were living in Singapore. Do you typically like to live in Singapore, or do you like to train out here and then just go there for fights?
Well, yeah, that's actually how I got signed to ONE. I won a tryout for Evolve MMA in Singapore to join their fight team, and
that's
so
awesome.
I got signed to ONE at the same time. I moved out there. And we just ran into a few issues, and they decided to let me go, so we parted ways, and I came back to the States, but I was still with ONE Championship, so now I'm traveling back and forth. But, yeah, I love Singapore. Honestly, of all places I've been, I think that's the place I could live, like, full-time outside of the United States. I really enjoyed the place there. It was very, very safe. Like, I had my wife with me, and I didn't have to worry about her ever being robbed or anything like that. Like, she would go out on runs at 3 a.m. in the morning and stuff, and there's no worries at all. The crime there is almost none. It's very clean there, and everything, like I said, is very close. I didn't have to have a car for the 2 years I was there. You could just take the train everywhere. The public busing system, great. So, honestly, I miss it. I miss Singapore a lot, but it is nice to be back in the United States too.
And then you said you're back in Florida. Is that where you're from originally? Are you just back home, or is this just because obviously Florida's got a million fighters there, so it's a great place to be training and practicing. Is that, or is this just home as well? Gotcha.
Did we lose you there?
Up out here.
Yeah, I'm a Florida. I was born and raised in Florida, so it was just coming home to me. I actually went and checked out some other gyms when I got back, and I just decided, I wanted to be. I'd been away from Florida for so long, and went and checked out to be a pretty good fit. Me and Henry got along well, so moved down South Florida. I'm originally from Central Florida in a small town. Then I lived in Orlando for a while, and this is now home to me in South Florida, but it's pretty much the same. I'm very comfortable here, but I don't know. Maybe I'm happy for now. I'm going to stick with the team and get some wins, but there's some places I would like to go visit, and maybe possibly when I'm done fighting, go set up shop.
Yeah, I feel that. So you said you've been training out of Sanford. I kind of wanted to ask about that because obviously everyone kind of knows like the top level fighters of there. I was curious with kind of a not a UFC champion type fighter coming in, like, what's that coaching team like? What's the kind of setup there? Because I don't think people really see it unless it's like, a massive title fight and you really get an insight into the gym.
I mean, yeah.
I think you're cutting out a little bit.
Honestly, it's really big gym, and we have a lot of high-level fighters there. It's like any other gym. We're all working together. It doesn't matter if you're Am I?
I think it's just a little lagged.
Or it might just be a little bit delayed.
That's okay.
No worries.
You guys hear me now?
Rolling.
Yeah, yep. We're all good.
All good?
Should be. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Pretty much like any gym. It doesn't matter if you're a UFC champ or not. You're on the mats working with everybody else. Some guys that are still really young in their pro career, trying to get a few wins on a regional circuit, are going with the Michael Chandlers and the Gilbert Burns and all of the top names. We're all mixing it together. So, and we have a pretty good team. Everybody takes care of each other. There's not too many bad egos. There, people just being douches and things all about them. Everybody's pretty humble in the gym. So it's and when you're having rounds with guys that are UFC champions or top 5 in the world, top 10 in the world, and sometimes you get fight at this level, you do deserve to be where you're at. So it gives you a lot of confidence that if you're training with the top guys in the world and you're getting these rounds in on a daily basis, that you belong in there. So it doesn't matter who your opponent is, you're ready to go fight.
Yeah, I would imagine too. It kind of does seem like some top guys like a Chandler, Burns, Usman, those guys all seem to kind of not have an ego, and that probably just sets the tone for the rest of the gym. Like, if Usman doesn't have an ego, how are you going to have one?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, since I've been there in September, I think I came, September or October, something like that. Usman hasn't been in the gym, so he's been doing his thing out in Denver. But right. Gilbert's definitely probably the most consistent guy that's like team leader. He always he came in and watched. So he's out leading by example. Chandler lives in Tennessee with his family. He comes here for his camps, but when he is here, he definitely makes an impact. Honestly, we have some guys that are up really high in Bellator as well. The Linton Vassell, Jay Jackson, these guys that are top 5 in the world in Bellator about to be fighting for titles are constantly in the room too. And they might not be as well known because they're in Bellator and people generally only watch the UFC. But they're also big in the room. And one of my teammates fights ONE Championship on Song, Martin Wynn, teams in every org that come in and they all display leadership, really keep the team together as a cohesive unit. So a lot of people see just the gold medal guys, but there's a lot that goes into the team at Sanford MMA, and we're doing big things.
Well, since we're talking about some other fighters, I had a question. I always wonder with fighters, you obviously like the sport, you like to watch it, but it's a little competitive all the way. But who is your favorite fighter, regardless of organization, to just watch? Like, who are you not missing a fight for?
Ooh, favorites hard, man. Favorites hard. It's hard not to be biased when you're like constantly training with somebody, so you're like so invested in them. So I mean, outside of people that I personally know, I'll say, because I couldn't pick one. If I'm personally invested, I'm glued to the TV. I make sure I watch every single second. The guys that split with me, I love them, so I'm definitely watching all of their performances. But as far as people that I don't actually know, Khabib's probably my number one. You know, I watch every interview Khabib does. I watch every fight. I study his film.
Not a bad place to start.
I think he's more than just these being, you know, his caliber.
And he's pretty funny too. He's a pretty funny guy. Like once you get past how thick his accent is, him and those guys are actually pretty hilarious. Like the stuff with DC, oh man, like I could watch them for days too. And everyone's got a Dagestani accent now with the brother. Come on, yeah, they're great. I love it.
And then just wanted to take it back a little bit. So what sort of got you into fighting? Were you just
Khabib's hilarious. All the videos that him and DC going back are gold here. But everything.
Sorry, I think we had a little bit of a delay there. But no, I basically wanted to say, like, what got you into fighting? You know, were you the bully in high school? Were you getting bullied in high school? Like,
no, I mean, honestly, what got me into fighting was just my connection to combat sports through wrestling. I was actually a really scrawny kid most of my life. I don't know what happened. Finally, puberty blessed me when I was like 16 years old and finally got some testosterone running and got a little bit bulkier lifting and stuff like that, trying to get big enough for football. But I wrestled all 4 years in high school. I made some friends that go on to be fighters, and that connection after I had graduated high school, I was missing the competition. And guys tried to help me or get me to help them with some fighter training with them a little bit. I was like, no, I'm pretty good at this. This is fun. I want to get that competitive edge going again. So I decided to take a fight like 2 months after I started training. I didn't even train mixed martial arts. I trained jiu-jitsu at the time. I was just a wrestler with jiu-jitsu.
Oh man, that's
decided
bold.
to take a fight, and after that, man, I was hooked. But
yeah,
yeah.
Once you're in it, it seems like people just fall in love.
Lucky, man. I fell into the sport, and it's predictable. Absolutely. I feel like most people live very boring lives, and when you do something like mixed martial arts, it lights a fire that you're not used to. So people feeling going and competing and like giving something, everything you have, passionate about. Nothing else really compares, but it's hard to find that same spark. And I think that's why a lot of fighters that don't know when to walk away, because there's nothing else that really keeps us going like fighting.
Well, let me put a scenario on you real quick. You win the championship, you get that belt wrapped around your waist. Where are you going on vacation? First spot. You mentioned you love traveling.
Ooh, I don't know, man. There's a lot of places I want to go. If I get the belt, I've always wanted to go somewhere in Scandinavia. And I have a really good friend that was on my team in Evolve named Troy Worthen, and he's from Finland, and they've made that place sound amazing. All the stories I've learned about it and stuff, so I might go take a visit to Finland and go through the forests and stuff out there. I think the country is actually 98% uninhabited, so there's plenty of
just escape
wilderness to do out there, and I think it's cool to get out of the tropical environment a little bit.
And then another thing that I think